Welcome to Coming to New England. I'm your host, Brittany Hassel, and joining me today is Melissa Medensi. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. My full name is Melissa Sabrina Medensi. My nickname's Misha, and I got that nickname because when I was born, my brother was 3 and my sister was 1 year old, and my name, Melissa in Spanish, is pronounced Melissa, and my brother couldn't pronounce it correctly. He was going Misha, 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 and my sister picked up on it, and then my biological father picked up on it, and so did my mom. So now my friends and family pretty much just call me Misha.
When and where were you born?
I was born April 16th, 1981 in Providence, Rhode Island. My first house wasn't a house, it was actually an apartment. It was a 3rd floor apartment in Sutton Street in Providence, Rhode Island, and we, the 5 of us, my family, we shared a bedroom together. And my grandmother, who was the matriarch of the family, she had her own bedroom. My oldest relative is my grandmother. She's still alive. She's the matriarch, like I had mentioned earlier, of the family. She's 102 years old. And she's a fierce woman. Even at 102, she's a fierce woman. She's strong, and she's an amazing role model and an incredible woman, to look up to. There's my mom. She's a bit of a spitfire. She marches to the beat of her own drum and does her own thing. Her maiden name was Sonia Villegas, Sonia Esperanza Villegas. And her current name now, after she remarried, is Sonia Villegas Gonzalez. And she was born, is this La Cerra Rosa, I think it's what it's called, in Ecuador. And I don't know the year she was born because her birth records were destroyed. She has proof of life. She has this paper that says she was born in Ecuador. It's signed, by the city and everything, but they don't exactly know when she was born since all the records were destroyed.
So you mentioned that your mom was a spitfire. So how so? Like, any stories you can tell us?
My mom, Jesus, pick a story, huh? Well, it's first a good one to say. She's always wanted to fly. Ever since she was a child, she's wanted to fly. She wanted to be a pilot. And the story she told me once is she believed she could fly. So she climbed up to the roof of her house. She tied a blanket around her, threw a bunch of cushions and pillows at the base of the house, and she jumped. She broke her leg. Didn't break her spirit though, because years later. In Ecuador, you weren't, especially when she was younger, a woman could not be a pilot. It's just unheard of. So to prove that she had the potential and the capabilities of being a pilot, she chopped her hair up super short, her and her friends. They chopped the hair up super, super short. And they dressed like boys, and they went and they took the exams, to enter into the pilot school, and she passed. And she had that, showed everyone, and said, look, I'm a woman, I passed the pilot's exam, you shouldn't deny me this. And she got in a crap load of trouble. The city and everyone, they're really upset. And my mom got in a lot of trouble because of that. But she was reassured by her grandmother, who's my great-grandmother, told her that when my great-grandmother was, when she was younger, she wanted to be in the cavalry. She wanted to be a horse rider. And her father was a general, and he taught the cavalry. So what she had done when she was younger, and I'm just like, Mom, are you kidding me? She's like, no. So my great-grandmother actually cut her hair super short, like a boy, and she dressed up as a cavalry member at night, and she would go out to the stables and ride the horses and practice on them. And so one time my mom had told me that her great-grandfather had seen, a man, because he thought it was a man practicing out, in the paddocks. He's like, oh, look, man, look at this man out there, practicing out there this late at night. That man is, he's gonna raise up, ranks real quickly. And all along, it was my great grandmother out there practicing.
So how did your mom come to live here?
So my mother and my father, my biological father, they were madly in love, but they were so young. And my mom was only able to see my father probably every weekend for 2 hours or so because she was still in school. She was super young. And my father was getting his visa, and he did, to come to the United States. And my mom wanted to follow him. But in order to do so, she knew she had to graduate and everything. She really didn't know what she was getting into, but they were young, they were madly in love. And so my father's living in the United States at this point, and my mother's starting college in Ecuador at an extremely young age. She's a very bright woman. And my biological father was like, hey, you don't need to go to college there. There's colleges up here, and you should come here. But applying for a visa, it's a process to become a resident. So she and my father kind of got her into the country, not so legally. She passed as another man's wife. They got the papers to prove it. And she came to the country that way. And she told me it was a culture shock for her to come here. She didn't have her friends, she didn't have her mother. And when she came here, my father actually denied her college. She felt trapped, and it was really hard for her to come and stay here in the United States. She didn't get to really learn the English language until she divorced my biological father. And when she did that, she managed to enter, I don't know what the name of the programs were, but she got into a program where she started to learn English. And in doing so, she was able to give me, my sister, and my brother more opportunities by learning English and by giving us the chance to breathe more as children in the United States. Because it's a really big, it's a different feeling, being an international family member, growing up in the United States, and here is our household, this is how we raise things, and you step out the door, and it's so different. I have so much more opportunity now than I did when I was a child. My mom, she's such a bright, incredible woman, and I remember her wanting to do what she wanted to do as a child and not being able to accomplish it. And about a few years ago, I saw her graduate with a master's degree at Brown University, and she had a smile ear to ear, and it took her so many years to get to that point. And now that she has, it's such a, it's like night and day comparing to my life, how it was then and how it is now. It's very different.
So with that being said, how would you define the American dream?
I think the American dream is exactly what my mom did for me. And it was trying to give us everything that she couldn't have. She wanted us to have an easier life. She wanted us to get the education that she tried to get, but to get it earlier. She wanted us not to struggle. And same thing with my stepfather, because she remarried, and both of them worked so hard to pave the way for us to be where we are right now. And now with my children, I feel the same way. I don't want them to experience what I experienced as a child. I want their lives to be so much easier. I want them, to have their own bedrooms. I want them to be able to go play. I want them to learn music when they want to. I don't want them to have any financial struggles. No Section 8 housing for you guys. We're not going to go back there. I moved forward, and this is what I'm laying forward for you, so you can go on too. So I'd say the American dream it's more to provide for your children and their future, and to have a happy life with your family and your friends, and be able to enjoy the moment you're in when you're in it.
Yeah, that's great. So that's all we have time for today. Thank you again for stopping by, and we'll see you next time on Coming to New England.